on the eventing team.
Oh yes.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
Because she schools a lot of racehorses.
Oh, does she?
National Hunt racehorses. Yeah.
How old is she? Is she young?
I can't remember what it's called.
She's at Tokyo. She'd be in her 30s, I
like,
think.
Yeah, right.
Or maybe late 20s.
like steam.
Yeah.
So that basically
She's really nice.
So that it stretches to the right
Horse
side.
people generally are.
That's getting
That's the only
older.
thing
Oh, that's what.
Oh, Mary.
Using there because the actual
King.
knitting
Yeah.
is literally
And
just
she's
Yeah.
Emily
right.
King. Isn't she?
Yeah.
But it's just the size of it.
Did you not like
That's the
Emily?
only
There's something about her.
I've not met
thing.
Emily, but
Get it wrong if
she
you.
kind of annoyed everybody in the eventing
But
community
it's
because
pretty simple.
she had a ride on a horse, and then the owner wanted to sell it,
It's
and she went on
Yeah, no, she
social
will.
media
She
and
was
said that she
saying.
wanted to keep
Yeah.
the ride on the horse,
Yeah.
and she was trying to crowdfund
That's it. Yeah.
Simple.
people
It
to
is
buy the
something.
horse for
definitely do
her
that.
to ride. And I think people just thought, you have so
You don't
much
have to
money
do
and you're
anything.
so privileged. Like,
Yeah.
top riders lose their horses all the time, it's part of the cause.
Yeah.
You don't get to go to beg for donations
The good
online
thing
when
about
you're
me
really
when I
wealthy
put that hat
already.
on is if
I
anyone
think
ever
people
comments
just
on
thought
it,
it
I
was
get
a
to
little
go,
bit
yes,
spoiled.
amazing.
Yeah. Loads of other-
Oh,
did
you
you buy it?
Yeah.
Loads of other good horses. She's got all
So,
the advantages in the world. You know, Mary King's your mum. You're on this smart yard with this massive lorry. Like, you just have to let it go. Like,
Yeah, and
Probably
Charlotte.
it's
Oh,
yeah, and that's what
Charlotte.
happens. It happens all the
Yeah,
time. It
and
happens
she
to
just
loads of
brings
people.
another
But
one.
it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like. It's
And
I
there's
mean,
someone
they
like
know.
Oliver Townend
To
who
be honest, I never wear
has
it
sold
because
all
it's
of his good
kind of
horses,
too thick
all
and
of
too
them,
big, you know.
because he can't afford
kind
not
of-
to.
You kind of feel
And
like
you just
you're
kind of
sort
felt a bit bratish, really.
Yeah.
drowning in it.
So-
you know, it's just,
The mother
just
must
so
have known she
massive.
was doing it.
Yes, so yeah.
But that was like
But
from
she
a
kind
set
of
that
like-
I bought, so you
She
get
didn't
the
make
wool
it
and
clear
you
if
get the
people were
needles and
donating
stuff.
or it was a
So they were
syndicate.
very thick needles.
And so people
very
probably
thick
put
wool.
money in thinking they might get
Um,
something out.
I'm thinking about trying to
And
do like some
it
kind
was
of
all a bit
crochet,
iffy, and I think
because I saw
legally
people
it was a
saying
bit
that
iffy.
you can
And I think people just thought it was a bit
bigger, quicker
bit
with
spoiled,
crochet,
really.
you know, than you would with knit.
So,
It's not like
I
that
don't
one. They
know,
crowdfunded
I don't really
for the
totally
those
know how
tables
crochet
in
works,
London.
but, like,
no,
you can
no,
build
that
it
was
up
really
Princess
nice.
Anne.
so
Did
it's-
she? Yeah.
What was that
I was
for?
thinking about trying to do
So there was
a
a
They got
blanket
some
or something
in a
with
high
that, but
street in.
the problem I've got is that you have to like pick a pattern.
They
Load
got
it.
they got stable
time being like, what
in a
do I
really
want?
built
Like,
up area
and you know,
where
like, oh, not quite that.
disabled
you know,
children and everybody
so
could
I'm
go, and
not
it
committed to anything.
transformed their lives.
Your
It was
favourite
local.
colour?
They were just people locally.
Well,
And they were told they got to get out. So
because the premises was worth
What I was
fortune.
thinking was some
yeah,
kind
because
of
it was
like,
right in the middle
like
of
a
it.
blue with like
But then they
yellow
went
and
on the
orange or
television and did
something.
that,
Like,
and they've
some
been
kind of
able.
pattern.
They've
really
just
good.
opened it really.
I need to choose
They've
the pattern,
opened
that's
it
the problem.
recently. They closed down, and the horses obviously went somewhere else. They were
I'll show you.
really
I was trying to
backward
do like
children, whatever, with problems, could
what they call it,
integrate with the
ground.
horses and whatever. And that worked, didn't it?
It did. Well, the thing with that was they were told they needed £7 million or something, and they raised the money, and then the buyer had an offer from Russia or something and said, no, I want £10 million or something.
How much?
I said it was millions of pounds. I think the buyer in Russia had offered like 10
I think
million.
it must have been in a really good residential
I think it had
area or
become a
something.
good one since they'd taken out the lease on it. I don't think it had been initially. And so they were really being greedy and taking the piss. And they had the riding school had a person to evaluate the value of it. And they were just trying to get as much money out of it as possible, which is not.
No.
It's a riding for a disabled thing. It's a life-changing thing for people. Anyway, they had
Oh, I like that.
a
It's quite
massive
cool.
donation
I like the colours.
from an
So
unnamed
I've
racehorse
seen
owner
something
who knows
kind of
the area
similar
well.
to
Like
that.
Trevor Hemmings
Yeah.
was born near this.
Ah,
It's different
that's
to
really
There
him.
wasn't a pattern.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He always sounds like a really nice
I haven't
man.
got that
Yes,
in
yeah.
sight, but
So I think
That's
he
probably
put in a big
quite
chunk to make
simple.
the difference up, and they
So you
did
just
buy
kind of,
it. Yeah.
do the
Well,
squares
because they
and then you just, like, stitch the
opened
squares
it
together kind of thing.
in the
But,
last not long
yeah,
ago.
I
Yeah.
like that
They
kind of thing.
cut the ribbons,
And I like
and
the
all the
colours
horses
in
came
it,
back
so
in, and they
that's
got
Oh.
the
all
sort of thing I'm
these
thinking.
people that
But
you know it
there's
meant
loads
a
of
lot
different
to
ones,
them.
so
They
I don't
could
know.
go.
I've
Yeah.
So-
was
Well,
looking
there's a
on
few
Pinterest
now.
for
There's one in
different
Liverpool
things
called Park Palace Ponies, and it's in an old theatre.
and
It's
do,
got
like,
this
jump,
amazing,
like a
like,
jumper or something
gilded
as well, but-
ceiling
Yeah,
in the
what
indoor
the
arena.
stables?
The
Yeah.
indoor arena
I
is.
know where it is now.
It's incredible, but it's quite run down. And they have to hack the ponies on the dual carriageway to get to the paddocks. And the ponies are just amazing. They're so well behaved. And all the the local schools send the kids there, and they say that the behaviour improves so much.
Yeah, I can
And
believe
the
it. Yeah.
troubled children, if they know they can go riding, they improve so much.
Sounds
seen
like
the,
Ginger McCain
like,
going come down to the
temperature
beaches,
stuff?
doesn't he? The back of the
No,
basically
I
having
don't
all
know.
that
So
exercise
it's like
stable in the back of a garage.
basically
Yeah.
the whole
Horses
year.
were on busy
you would-
places.
Yeah, they
didn't
were.
in the
Yeah.
past.
And
They
And
used
they
to
can
it.
adapt to anything.
No,
They
yeah,
get
yeah,
used to
I
it.
was
It's
going
fine.
to say they can,
They
can't
can,
they?
yeah,
Day,
they
They can.
depending on
If
the
they
weather.
get used to
That's
something,
good.
they'll
Yeah.
be
So
fine.
obviously
Exactly,
it'll start
yeah.
like in those
I think
kind of
these
like
things are
blue
really horses
tones,
are great
and
for
then
people.
it'll get
So,
warmer,
apparently the
and
one
then it'll
in
get back to the blue tones
Brixton,
again.
Ebony Horse Club,
So like those are the
one of
clubs
the
that she's
pony
used for
clubs
that
in
one.
like Hampshire or
But that one's
Surrey
really-
or something.
Like
invited
sometimes
them
you
to
see them
Pony
and they
Club
look
camp.
really like they look
They
too
took all the
flashy,
ponies,
you know what I
went
mean?
to
But
Pony
they-
Club camp,
I think
and
like
these kids
moving
were
wool, she's using it's
gasping
very
at
like
the window of
soft.
the minibus because they'd seen a sheep
Well,
and they'd
they
never
did.
seen sheep in their life.
Could have chosen
And they
more,
experienced country
bolder
living for a week, and they
Yeah.
all said
colours,
they
which
wanted
would
to move
clash.
out of London.
Yeah.
And I
Blending
thought,
This is what
quite
happens
so
to
much
kids.
more to life than living in
Yeah.
London,
Yeah.
isn't
This
there?
is what happens to kids who go to the
Quite
castle.
cool, isn't
Yeah.
it?
They get underprivileged
Um,
kids.
cool
sort of
idea.
I quite like the idea of
and
yeah
they
doing
come.
that over
And
the
they
year,
had
but
absolutely
you'd
got
obviously
Yeah.
have to be
and they walk them up the road
very
to Edinburgh.
patient.
And you've got the
Literally be
paid
waiting.
land
There's
sick
like another
who
example.
wanders
But
around.
that does
You've
look a bit
got
clashy, I would say.
And
you
they're
know what I
looking
mean?
at
I
the
think
street randomly
yeah.
with
Yeah.
horses. And they're just
Yeah.
absolutely, you
I
can
do like the
hear
idea.
they're absolutely
Yeah.
gobsmacked.
I'm not sure
we
I've got the
take it
patience
for granted,
to do
don't
that
we?
all
Because
year.
we see
though.
so much stuff, but like if you live in a high-rise flat in London, your
Yeah,
world
that
is
would
this
be-
big, isn't it? And you
That's
don't
saying
know,
when
we
that's
don't know
when it
because
should
we're
last,
so lucky.
Yeah.
It's
They've
like-
never seen
Yeah.
anything.
No.
It's good, isn't it?
No.
And they had the
Except
time of
gang
their life.
violence and
Yeah.
knifings
Yeah.
and things.
And it's either join a gang or get stabbed by the gang. That's
Yeah,
your choice.
exactly.
Yes, exactly. Or they're going to attack your mum.
Yeah.
So you've got
Yeah.
that's basically
Your
it.
siblings,
Yeah.
so you do it to protect
Yeah.
your family.
You do.
No way out. So
And
yeah.
you think to yourself, okay, oh, wouldn't you? Well, you would, wouldn't
However, I will tell you a piece of gossip.
Yeah.
You know
Go
that
on.
Khadija Mella who won the charity horse race with the hijab
Oh, yeah,
on?
yeah.
Oh.
Khadija Mella.
Oh
the
yes,
Muslim,
I've
yeah.
seen them with the
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they have you believe that she's really from the slums of Brixton. She went to 25 grand a term private school. Yeah.
Well, they're
I
telling
picked that
you.
up at the awards, do? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know that double down place, the Admiral Jarvis at the end of the road.
And they're all at Denstone
They're
College.
at College. Now you tell me.
Spend that money on the bloody house.
Well, I was going to say, how could anybody live in a house like that?
Do you know that, huh?
What's that,
So
sorry?
if you walk past the Admiral Jarvis,
Yeah.
it's bloody awful.
Yes.
That family
Looks
who,
so
who
damn.
live in
There's
that
only a
job, send their
woman
kids
there.
to Denstone College.
The swimming in cash, Harriet. Will they spend it on the house? No.
Hang on. Is Admiral Jarvis the...
Near the wreck.
As you go to the
That
end of
one.
the lane, on the left hand, as you go from
What's,
there.
The black and white building near the park.
It's got
Yeah,
those
the recreation
stained
what's the
centre.
one closer
curtains.
to us? Closer to you?
That's the Admiral Jarvis. That's it.
Yeah.
No, the one where they're living behind.
That's the
Yes,
Admiral
that's
Jarvis,
it.
yeah.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah, it looks
that's
like
it,
a
that's
pile
it.
of crap.
And it looks awful.
Just
And it's
as
got
said,
disgusting
I think
windows.
Justin said, that they're waiting to do up the pub, turn it into a house. They have to
Planning
wait a
permission
certain
or
amount
something,
of years.
Well,
I don't think that's the
according to
problem.
Arthur, my neighbour across the road,
You have, but if
he
it's a
said
pub,
in
you have to
5
wait
years,
a certain amount of
within
time.
5
Oh,
years,
maybe.
you can do it.
Yeah.
Well, the 5 years, I think, are up. They've been there.
Yeah, that's
But they live in the back where there's no windows, but they've got that sort of, what is it?
Yes, they have
Perhaps
to
that's-
call it.
How does Molly know that they go to Denstone College?
No, my neighbours across the road from me came and told me
Oh.
that she, the woman there, is best friends with Emma, who runs Hetty's,
Ah.
Archie's ex-wife.
Who
and,
knows, what's
and
the
she
name?
she
From the White
looks-
Hart.
Hmm?
Benny. Who knows Benny?
Benny lives. Do you remember Margaret that lived up our road? There's a pair of semis, isn't there,
Yeah.
on the roadside. Margaret lived there for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it's Benny lives there now.
Benny's
From
Yeah.
and she and Rowena
Mm.
are very good friends and
Yes,
trying to do
yeah.
work in business together.
Yeah.
It's not just in London, the gangs we've got.
Well, I really like Benny.
In Doncaster, you know.
Yeah, do you?
Benny was lovely, yeah.
Well, she and Rowena are doing Sunday lunches. I
I
thought.
know, I've seen that. Apparently they're good. Really
Yeah, they had 40 on the last time.
good. Yeah.
Well, Rowena's trying to set up her own business with afternoon teas, which is why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a good idea to go for Sunday lunches because that's surefire winner, isn't it?
Yeah, she's doing, well, Rowena.
Probably
is-
not the afternoon tea.
Rowena
Her
is
Thai
doing all
food
the
is
cooking, and
incredible as
she
well.
does all the cooking, and Benny waits on. And as a return favour, when she's doing her Thai food, Rowena will help her
I
out.
think I must have met Rowena
She's lovely.
because she always had her friends helping and like waiting on for her.
Oh, right,
So I must have met Rowena, but I can't.
she's absolutely lovely. She comes over, if she's
I
got any
imagine,
food
yeah.
she's just made or anything. And I came home,
Oh.
well, from, I came home when the bin man had came, and she was putting my bin back for me, and she does such nice things.
Yeah.
She's so kind. Well,
Benny's like that. Whenever I was on the bar when she was cooking, she'd cook me a huge meal to take
Yeah.
home.
yeah,
It's always
yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well, I don't know them really. I mean, they live there.
She was
and,
like, no, you must eat. You have to eat. And she gave me a huge portion.
I've not met. Have you met her husband then? Because I've not seen them.
Oh,
The,
yeah,
the
I think I have
son.
done. I think I have done.
He's he's
Rowena's
Nicholas. What's not? You know, the solicitor. He's his son, isn't he?
Is
Nicholas
he?
John.
What does he
Nicholas
do?
John. Well, he's Nicholas John's a solicitor, and he married a woman who already got a son, who's now a partner. He changed his name, and he is a partner in the business. But his real son, with his wife, went off on a tour, Thailand, and Benny said she'd never met such a miserable tyke in her life, and took him in hand, and they got married out there and came back here.
What, she married him because she looked a miserable type?
Yes, said, for God's sake, what's the matter with you? And I
Did
remember
she
they
like
told-
him?
and I've
Maybe
not.
not. Seems like a strange approach.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very.
Yeah, well,
Jolly.
I mean, my hairdresser
Well, yeah, that
absolutely
seems weird.
can't say enough good about her. He says she's absolutely brilliant. He loves. He does her hair.
Benny,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's absolutely.
She's great. Yeah, she is jolly. She's very out there and very friendly.
I don't ever see her, but this time they've put a lot of lights up outside, which is nice. And they've got a son, but I don't see him either. But they do
so,
get
yeah.
it. They do. Somebody there gets up really early, about 5:30. I think he's now a teacher, isn't he? Her husband.
Is he?
She ran that place in Cheadle as a,
Yeah.
and she said, and she packed it in. She was working all hours to go, and she said it's time for him to work now. So he's a teacher at Denston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was he not working then?
Eh?
Was he not working?
I don't know what. I don't know what he was. Oh, he was a journalist, but he wasn't making any
Oh,
money.
right, okay.
So he's now teaching at Denston, and I've not really seen. They've lived there for ages.
Not seen him. That's
I've not
weird.
seen it. And the son, I forget what the son's called or anything.
I don't know if you've met the son.
The son is supposed to be friends with Heidi's son, but I never.
Okay.
But I've never seen them together or anything. I
Is
don't
Heidi's
know.
one who does the taxis?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just not doing the fire.
It was
He
just
must be
that.
doing
I was
them
doing
on
it.
there.
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah. Cold.
No, so they're quite good friends, Rowena, but Rowena says that Benny's a bit temperamental.
Oh, really? I can see that she might be fiery.
Can you hear?
She's quite,
She
quite
decided.
like extroverted. And
Yeah, well, she decided in the run up to Christmas, where Rowena was doing the roast dinners. She decided she didn't want to do that anymore because she wanted to concentrate in the run up to Christmas on her Thai food.
Yeah.
And so Rowena was left with not. But the
okay.
the week before, they had 40, which was a big
So
one.
it sounds like something she should do, and if she can do both, that's good.
But she
her
is-
Thai food is really, really popular. Like,
Who is?
her Thai food is really popular.
With
the
Rowena's
And with
project.
like people from Cheadle and Utah stories used to come.
Rowena's new project, according to us, is trying to run afternoon teas.
Maybe.
And she's got no
Do you not like
premises.
foreign food though?
No, it was, I thought it was a bit all the same, right? No, so, you know.
What? I thought the sauce that went
How
with
many
it.
things did you try?
I don't know. We all had a little bit of everybody's.
Yeah, we had a bit of everybody's, and it all to me tasted the same. I couldn't see any difference in it.
No, it really is good.
I'm no connoisseur, but it all just seemed to end up with the same taste in your mouth. Whatever you had on the menu, we would just check. It was you there as well. We all
You
had
sure you didn't
different things.
all order the same thing?
No, we all had
things.
different things.
The
And
sauce
people
was
were telling
really
me, have
warm
this,
to
this
me,
is
and it was
mild.
all
Have this,
on
this is such
everything,
and such.
really, on different forms of food, I think.
And we all tried
Yeah.
different things. And I think, well, it was perhaps
I
it's
wouldn't
just
particularly have it again, I don't think.
no, but she likes looking after
I always
people. I
liked
think,
it.
doesn't she? She's a
Yeah, she would always look after me. She always gave me a huge bit of food to go that way.
yeah. Well, Rowena thought that had got potential to do afternoon teas, so she came. And as it's owned by a sort of committee of people, they said she could. But she's not. It's not gone at all. She's had 2 people one day, and you have to look in the.
I don't know if people would actually do that because it's a pub.
Yeah, yeah.
And people just want to go for a pint and they get on board with the Thai food. But I can't see people going there in the afternoon.
No, I think they go for afternoon tea somewhere,
somewhere a bit
that's
more
nice
quaint.
to visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Well,
Hetty's.
she's. I mean, this is why. This is why I know so much about the Admiral Jarvis, because he's been looking. He was looking at that as well, and
What's his name? Brandon's left. Who was my boss?
Yeah, you liked him, didn't you?
Which is
where
which
did
is
he
really
go?
bad for the pub because he was great. He was a great manager. He's gone to the pub in Newcastle in July.
Did he live in Newcastle?
And
No,
he's
he lived at the
he's
place.
Stokey, but he lived at the White Hart.
Well, who's
But
he
I
got
think
now
because
then?
of COVID and lockdown, he was just there on his own. And
Who's the new manager?
they haven't managed to get one.
So who's running it then?
Well, the committee members. But he was great for that pub because he was just a great landlord. He was really jolly, really nice, really friendly.
And why did he
He was
leave?
friends with loads of people. He made friends with loads of people in the
Why
village.
did he leave?
I think because of lockdown, because
Oh,
no
right,
one's
yeah.
going. He was there on his own. He
Yeah,
wasn't,
there's
his
nothing
kids,
to
his
do.
kids live in Stoke, so he wasn't really near them.
Ah,
He was really
right,
close to
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But he must have just been on his own, just like, it's actually a bit miserable now there. Because his friends used to come in and have pints with him in the evening, so it was quite a sociable job. And then,
Are they looking for someone, I wonder?
yeah, as far as I know, but they can't find him now.
No, I mean, they're in really short supply, aren't they? Especially chefs. I think if you were a chef, you could do what you wanted. I mean, there's a place at Oncat Arms that was Nick and Janny's favourite place, and they had to shut through lockdown. And then they reopened with a big fanfare, and Nick said, "Oh, look, they're opening, we must go." 6 weeks later, they closed again. The chef had left, and they hadn't been able to get anybody else, and they just abandoned it. It's a really nice place. So, I don't know. I think if anybody wanted a new career, they ought to try and
don't know.
just chef.
I think Chris Maddox is. Chris Maddox owns the Bull's Head, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And does he own another one now?
What?
Does he own another pub now? He's taken over. Oh, he's taken over the Royal Lake, is he? As well.
And well, that's gone. That's a private house. now. They've had it.
Is he?
He's
Is he bought the bridge?
no, that's
No, the Talbot. Oh, yeah.
no, because Sarah. Is that her name?
I'm pretty sure he's bought another pub.
No, well, Sarah, she lived the Bridge Inn, but she's also got the Talbot, which she lives in the flat above. And I remember when we,
Oh, she's what's her name?
yeah, well, I remember when we
Her
first went
daughter.
there, the Talbot had 2 rooms, one for the sort of commoners and one for the sitting room, and she was, she wouldn't have people in it. She didn't like them.
Really?
Yeah, she was overstuck. And if you met her along Red Road, she'd go,
Who? The one
So
who
you-
owns it currently?
no, that's the one before, a long
Ah.
time ago. Yeah, if you met her along Red Road, she would never reverse. She would just go.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't know how he's doing at the Bull's Head. Do you know?
I think he's probably doing quite well because it is a good pub. It's always been a popular pub.
But who's
And
running
he's,
it
all,
now?
he's just got so much money to pump into it, hasn't he?
I don't know. I don't know a lot about him.
Like
Really.
he's done it up. it is a nice cosy pub.
When we left your house after that party, it did seem quite busy, but there
I
was
think
not,
it is probably the busiest.
not many
pub.
people in the White Hart.
For a while, when I was there, the White Hart actually got busier than Bull's Head with the locals for a bit. I think
Yeah,
the
well,
parties,
the
gone-
Talbot's been going on, and but I think she's now reopened the Bridge as a restaurant, hasn't she?
Yeah, it's a restaurant.
Yeah. Well, we've had a lot of gossip, Sarah. It's very interesting if you're
I'd just like to point out there is lots of gangs, not just in London, and including a lot of white working class lads as well.
Drugs, is it?
Yeah.
But their avowed aim is to break the cycle, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they
of
need to. They need
the
to.
county lines, isn't
But
it?
it's these middle class drug users that really piss me off because they're so hypocritical. Because
It seems it's rife in the government, isn't it?
yeah, well, yeah, all the loonies have got cocaine. Yeah. 9 out of 10 loonies have cocaine samples of cocaine. Around.
In the
It has a part,
MPs?
yeah.
how?
9 out of 10.
You tested.
No, I think.
Did you think it's the hours they just to keep them going when it's
Well, it's not really an excuse, is it? They need to change the bloody
no?
hours, maybe, don't they, on the job thing? But you know, if you're middle class and you
If you they
use
seem,
drugs, you've got different support mechanisms, you've got different things. But you know, I think there's a load of misery up to that point, isn't there? That isn't something more you don't see. It's real hypocrisy, I think. I think he's absolutely right on that. I mean, those drug treatment places have always been there because because we always referring people to them, but they always drop out of treatment usually.
really.
Just drop out of treatment. They have always been there. It's not true to say there isn't drug services. But he has boosted it, hasn't it? Which is good.
I mean, they need to break the cycle of the county line. How are they going to do it?
They're horrible people. They're vile, absolutely vile. Just really, when it's a whole new thing, we've got a new thing. It's not child sexual exploitation, it's child criminal exploitation as a whole. We're always looking at that now.
How do you go about it?
We have to work with the police and try and smash the gangs. But it's hard.
And then they set up, well, they get ever younger, don't they, all the time as well?
Is that Alistair?
I'm getting quite hungry.